Whether on the beach and in the surf zone, or on a rocky point, the same basic principles apply. Your sinker must be solid enough to provide a very good anchorage, as the successful application of sliding your bait to the stopper depends entirely on this anchorage. So it's important and cannot be understated. A tight main line will not allow the slide to slide backwards, whereas a loose connection will allow the mechanism freedom to move both ways, as shown in this illustration. One should always consider a routine when connecting your slide to your main lines. I have the following steps that I follow. This helps me maintain a steady performance, and one tends to make mistakes when trying to do it too fast. Firstly, I pull the rod over my shoulder so I can grab the line. Try to do this yourself. Sometimes you won't have a fishing partner who can help you. Once you have caught the main line, face the bait end of the slide towards the water and wrap the main line around the winds. Test that the line is clear from the slide winds by moving it back and forth up the line. This ensures that your line doesn't get snagged. Click the loading mechanism in place, then generally raise the bait up, holding the hook with your left hand, and tighten up the line by winding on slowly. Be sure to check that the line hasn't wound around the top of your eye, preventing burning your line when you tighten up. Release your bait and tighten your line up by winding slowly, and then shaking the rod can begin. Start with short, sharp intervals as your bait progresses through the wake zone. When the swell hits your bait in the zone, stop shaking. The extra pressure caused by that wave may break your anchorage. Once the wave has passed, continue shaking until the clip dips below the water level. Once it has disappeared, change your shaking technique to long extended strokes. This accentuates movement in the water and speeds up the travel of the bait to the stopper. It is easy to monitor the progress of the slide. The entry into the water of your main line goes further and further away as the slide progresses down the line. I normally shake a little longer than normal, just to make sure my slide has progressed all the way. Detecting a strike from a fish with this technique is quite different to that of the conventional ground bait. Either the fish breaks the anchorage and you get slack line, or you feel direct pressure and the line peels off your reel. Either way, your reaction should be the same. Don't get excited and strike. It is not necessary, and more often than not you will burn off if your bait has not reached your stopper. All you need to do is wind on slowly until you feel direct contact with the fish. If you want to, you can lean into the rod. The fish will already be hooked, and you can begin the battle. I've always maintained that when fighting a big fish, one needs to use his head. So assess the conditions early in the fight and plan your course of action to win the battle. Poor decision making in positioning yourself during the fight can be a major problem when the fish gets closer to the side. So be alert and active to the fish's movements. Lastly, as you begin to master this technique, you will land more and more big fish. So learn to land them without the use of a gaff. Rather make the game even to the end. And then, please, release your fish safely and unharmed back to the sea. He may grow bigger and give you a better fight,